Okay, this is Sparrow Jackson Airsoft, and I'm here with Brownicus today. We're part of Squirrel Team 6.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thanks for being on. This is an experiment. We're going to see how this goes. Might not go very well. So, today we're going to talk a little bit about difference between paintball and airsoft, as we're both experienced paintball players. You're going to talk a little bit about
buying a gun, kind of like transitioning from paintball to airsoft, to what sort of experiences I went through with choosing a gun. Talking a little bit about the fields, what I like, what I don't like, and kind of my growth as a player, throughout my life since I've been playing since I was 12 years old.
You started when you were 12. Yeah, I started when I was 15.
Yeah,
so
I'm 29 now, so 17 years.
Which is about how long I've been playing, I think.
Yeah.
Pretty close. So
the main reason was Combat Zone, the field we played paintball at, and Hinckley was closing, so it's like...
Yeah, he closed up shop. So, and that was, after we found that field, that was pretty much the only field we would play at. It was fantastic, because we played at another field down in Rosemount. I hated that field.
Yeah, I played at a couple other paintball fields. I didn't care for them very much. That was the number one reason. The other reasons were, I've never really liked CO2. I do have compressed air for my paintball guns, but I liked the idea of AEG. Like, I liked having batteries, not having to worry about air. If your battery's done, you can just quick swap one in, and it doesn't weigh like 10 pounds. You're not carrying it around. You don't have it on your belt. You don't have it on your gun. It's just something small, convenient. So that was kind of cool. Obviously, the cost of playing, it's like $5 for 100 rounds of paintballs, whereas it's like 10 cents for 100 rounds of airsoft BBs.
Yeah, and $5 per 100 rounds. That was our price, because we would buy a case of paintballs and divide it up. It was like $5 per 100.
Yeah, so my typical day playing airsoft was $15 field fee, and then my friend and I split a case of paint, which was, depending on what price he was giving us, some days he was generous, some days it was more the standard price.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
It was $80 to like $95, split between us. So you're talking like $65 plus gas and all the other stuff just to go up there and play.
Mm-hmm.
That was a big thing. The thing that's always bugged me about airsoft gun or paintball guns is your gun's going to behave one way when it's 90 degrees and behave totally different when it's 70 degrees.
Yeah.
Or there's humidity. So it always got on my nerves, the inconsistency. And, you just dealt with it. Everybody else was dealing with it too. But the consistency of airsoft guns is going to be better than paintball guns. Just because there's no CO2, there's no air involved. It's all spring. Yes, you can buy a gas gun, but I wasn't interested in that.
No, when people were talking to me about HPA and like, oh yeah, it runs off a remote line on your back and all that, and you just plug it in your gun and you got your air supply, and I'm like, I wanted to do that, I'd just stick with paintball. I already have all that for paintball, so it didn't interest me. I like the AEG lightweight.
Yeah, and going along with that, I like the compactness of guns. You don't have this tank sticking off the back or on your belt. You don't have a hopper on top. You don't have pods. You don't have huge pods on your belt, and you're making tons of noise, rattle, rattle, rattle as you take a couple steps.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just easy to swing the gun around as opposed to having the hopper and all this other stuff. I just like the compactness. It's weight-wise, it's kind of about the same for me, but that was another small factor. Another reason, which wasn't a big deal for me, was paintballs. They hurt more, and I played long enough where I ignored it. But it is kind of nice when you go play airsoft, and you don't come back with huge welts all over your body and stuff. And it was kind of, as a kid, it was kind of cool. You'd go to school and be like, "Yeah, I got this
look
one."
At this, yeah.
But now it's like, now that you're out of school and you're working, you don't want to have to explain why I have this huge bruise somewhere on your arm or your neck or whatever.
So what's the matter? You and the old lady get into a fight?
Yeah.
Another thing with that hopper being on top of the gun and gun hits count, including that hopper, it was impossible to like peer around a tree or poke your head up above a pallet or something like that, because that thing would be like, what was that, 9 inches before you actually got to see your target. Like,
yeah. And some of the other reasons for me were just paintball. It was really popular in the early 2000s. Now it's kind of going out of style. It's still around, but airsoft, everybody's getting into airsoft, so it's like, well, you can go play paintball. And the last time I played paintball, it was a big field, and there was like 20 people there. So you're at the mercy of who's bringing in a big church group or something to come play. Whereas airsoft, it's you just get a lot more people that just will come out and play for the day. One other difference that I liked about airsoft is I liked and also disliked at the same time is the games are quick. You know, there's a lot of action. You're getting a lot of kills per game. If you get shot, you can come back in, which I like, and I also dislike at the same time, because I like that. You know, I've played so many games where you run up, you be aggressive, and you get the unlucky shot in paintball where you're out in the first minute, and you're like, great, now I have to wait a half hour. Whereas airsoft, you can go back and respawn, and that's cool for you. It's also frustrating when you kill a guy, you have a great spot or something, and he knows right where you are, and now he's telling all of his buddies where you are, and you're like, great, now I have to kill that guy 2 or 3 more times unless he gets tired of coming back.
Yeah, there is the dead men tell no tales, but I've caught other people on my team telling it, and I've even caught people on our team, you know, like in our group. Like, well, there's somebody over that's like, I'm not listening to you. I'm not listening to you. You know who's famous for it? Caleb.
Well,
Caleb.
He's a kid.
Well, yeah, he's almost 18 now, but I mean, the first few times I took him on the field, he'd be walking by me. He's like, "There's guys right over there." It's like, I can't hear you. I'm not hearing you. I'd yell it out loud. It's just like,
I've had a number of people. I don't know. There were probably people with us. I don't remember who specifically, but playing airsoft. Even this last year, I get shot. And they go, "Where are they?" And I said, "I'm dead." I'm like, "Too bad. I'm dead."
They're on the field somewhere, probably behind a tree.
I'm like, I'm gonna respawn. I'll come back and tell you in 2 minutes.
Yeah, just wait. Just come back. I'll give you the dirt.
Yeah.
So, and I switched from airsoft, paintball to airsoft for kind of the same reason. For me, I stopped playing because I got married. It was expensive. I had kids.
Right.
I had a mortgage that was unfucking believably high. And I just didn't have money or time. And now the kids are older and everything. And I was going to try playing paintball a little more often. But I was like, I wasn't enjoying it as much. My buddy Merkin was telling me, hey, have you ever heard of Airsoft? And I was like, oh man, don't be a pussy. Just play paintball, you know?
Right.
But then he knew my weakness. I love World War II. And he showed me the King Arms Thompson. And I was like, that's an airsoft gun? That's awesome! You know, so, and he showed me some other videos, mostly ones from Europe where they're really into airsoft out there. I mean, they have cannons and stuff that shoot Nerf footballs, and just they have the World War II games where everyone's wearing authentic World War II gear and guns, and I was like, that's just really cool. And so I went and bought the Thompson, and I remember you came to my house, and every time someone came over, I was taking it. I was like, "You want to shoot it? You want to shoot it?" But I hadn't even played on a field yet, so that's what hooked me is the realism, the guns, and I liked it.
That was never important to me. Like, I'm like, you know, some guys, they're like, cool, I have an M4 or something. I'm like, I don't care. I'm just out to play, just out to have fun. I mean, I almost prefer it doesn't look quite like a real gun, so the off chance, you know, I think most people are aware airsoft guns are out there now, so they're not going to be, oh my god, he's got a gun type thing, but...
Maybe.
Yeah.
The cops are probably going to have that issue still. Right. Understandably so.
And there was some things that you started playing. It still took me like 2-3 years after you started playing to switch. And early on, when you're like, you got to play, I'm like, yeah, I'll play. And I'm going to wait like a year or two because, you know, a couple of the concerns I had was, one, I have all paintball gear. Now I have to buy all airsoft gear, which isn't terrible. I spent a lot more money this year than I thought I was going to, but I'm okay with it. And for me, at least, I'm in, 29. don't have kids. I have the house, but I don't have huge expenses. So I'm like, I can spend $500 here or something like that, and not like shit my pants. So
Yeah.
And a couple other reasons. The main reason, honestly, was just cheaters. I'd watched YouTube videos, and I don't care what anybody says. There's a lot more cheaters in Airsoft than there are in paintball, and it's not always people trying to be malicious about it. It just kind of happens where you're like, you shoot somebody, and you can always tell there's like oftentimes a split second to a second before they actually say hit, and it's like some people you can almost see they're contemplating in their head, should I call my hit? And most people are like, yes, I should call my hit, but there's that thought in the back of your mind, whereas paintball, it's like, you got hit, I'm hit. So like very few people would not call their hit or wipe their paint, and even if they wipe their paint, a lot of times it was obvious, and if they hit them in the mask, there's no way they can wipe that. So whereas Airsoft, you watch all these videos, and almost every video you watch, there's a couple people that get hit, and they're just like, a couple of them are like, maybe they didn't realize it. A couple people are like, did I get hit? I don't think so, and they just keep going.
It's just a flesh wound.
Right, I've had a couple times playing Airsoft even where something hit me, and I'm like, all the enemies are this way, and I got shot from this way. I'm like, did it ricochet off something? Because ricochet hits don't count, so I'm like, kind of hesitant to call my hit, because I'm like, there can't be enemies behind me, but how am I getting shot? Am I getting shot by a team? Because if I'm getting shot by a team, then I'm out. But so I'm like, it must be a ricochet. But after you get shot 2 or 3 more times, I'm like, okay, I must be getting shot from somewhere, somehow. I don't know if it's a teammate or what.
Yeah.
But, that made me very hesitant about wanting to play just for that reason of it's, a gentleman's sport. You have to go by the honor system, which is fine. But you're gonna get frustrated sometimes because people are not gonna call their hits.
Honestly, in my 3 years of Airsoft, I've only had 2 instances, and I've put them on video. Well, technically 3, but the one, one of the last videos I did, where I reached out the window and I shot down at that guy, I've slowed that video down. I've watched it 100 times on a loop, just trying to did I hit it? But not I know a BB came out of my gun, but I have no idea where it went. So if I hit him, I have no idea that I hit him. So I can't say he was cheating.
Right, and I usually I'll give people the benefit of the doubt. Because unless you have a camera, you're not going to definitively know. It's going to look like you hit somebody and there might be a twig that knocked it out of the way. Paintball was a little bit more definitive because it's easier to see where it went.
Oh, you got the 6mm versus, 68 caliber.
Yeah. And I've had instances in paintball where 2 or 3 times I can think of where I had a guy, I was behind a bunker shooting people, and a guy just rushed me, came around the bunker, shot 5-6 shots at me, and was just stunned that he missed me. He's like, I hit you, and where? You didn't hit me. And if this was Airsoft, I would have probably had to call myself out, because that guy would have been screaming at the ref that this guy's cheating, there's no way I missed that guy, and I don't know how he missed me. I was literally 2-3 feet away from him, and he missed me. So I don't know if his gun dry fired. I don't know if he just, moved the barrel too far. He just missed somehow. So.
I had that happen once. A guy came charging down a pathway up at the combat zone, and because I was taunting them. It was a standstill. Nobody could advance, so I was taunting him, but I had a big thing of bushes. There's no way a paintball's getting through that. So, I was just taunting them and everything. I'd jump out where they could see me and dance, and then jump back in, and paintballs would go whizzing by. And one of the guys charged at me, and as he came around me, I heard his footsteps, so I started getting into the bushes. And he came around, and he's bam, 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 and I started shooting at him. And I know I hit him, because he yelled hit. But then he's like, did I hit? Did I miss? I didn't feel anything, and he called the ref for a paint check, which I was totally fine with. And he missed me, even though we were from here, 15 feet, within surrender range. He managed to miss me. And yeah, again, if that was Airsoft, probably would end up saying, I'll just call myself out. The important thing to remember is it's just a game.
Right, and similar to that, I remember the last time we played, I wasn't even mad, but I was kind of like a little bit frustrated. I mentioned it to you at the time. Me and this guy were shooting at each other. And I'm trying to remember exactly how it was. He shoots me. I call hit. I go, I'm hit. I stop shooting. He shoots for about 2 more seconds. Keeps shooting me. And I'm like, whatever. You didn't hear me. So I'm like, all right. And then he goes, oh, I'm hit too. And I'm going, I stopped shooting. And there was about 2 more seconds of you shooting. So that means you were shot and kept shooting at least 2 more seconds after I hit you. So like
trying to get a kill.
Yeah, so I was a little bit frustrated by that. And I don't like about Airsoft. I actually don't like the bang bang rule. I prefer the surrender rule because I've seen. I feel like the bang bang rule gets overused in Airsoft. I had a couple times where I'm like 15, 20 feet away, and me and this guy were looking right at each other. And if you played enough, you know it's not a guaranteed kill when you're both in cover. And he goes, bang, bang. And I'm like, all right, I guess I'm hit. But I'm like, there's a pretty good chance you'd miss me or I'd get back in cover. If it was up to me, I'd rather just play it out because I'm not worried about taking a few shots from 20 feet away. I do like it. You know, the surrender rule, if you come up behind somebody, they don't know you're there. I feel it's just a courtesy to give them the chance. Or if they're completely indefensible. But I feel like the bang bang rule, it annoys me how much it gets used. Because, like you said, people can run around the bunker or anything, and they can miss you, and I can turn around and shoot them. So
going back to that same video where I went to the window. That one, the second time, I shot at the guy. And I must have missed him. The first time, if you watched that video earlier, I reached out a window at a different player and yelled bang bang. Mm. And I'm on the top story. I'm more than 10 feet away from him. He had every right to just shoot back or ignore it, I guess, because outside of the bang bang rule, which I think is 10 feet. Get back up. Bang bang! Oh. Nice. I had to shoot that. Would have I missed him? Because I missed the other guy, I'm pretty sure. So, yeah, I agree with you. I don't really like the bang bang rule. These guns aren't that painful up close. Usually if I'm in one of the buildings or something, either wherever I am, if I'm in a building, I have my pistol. I prefer that for close range. Sure. And the rifles for, reach out and say hi to somebody. Yeah. But not all fields do that. So for people who aren't familiar with paintball, the bang bang rule in Airsoft, it's within 10 feet, you yell bang bang, point your gun at somebody, they're dead. In paintball, it was the surrender rule. So if you got within 15 feet, 20, 15, it was the standard.
It always depends on the field.
Some people did it at 30 feet, understandably, because those things hurt at closer range. Anything less than 50 feet, it hurt. But the surrender rule is you can point your gun at somebody and say surrender, and I love how Gary always put it. You have 2 options. One, you yell hit, you put your barrel blocker on, you walk off field. Option 2 was anything but. You could turn around and shoot or whatever the hell, you could battle it out. It was completely up to the person that was supposed to, quote, surrender.
Yeah, and I, in a similar situation to earlier, I had a person, when I was behind a bunker, I was reloading, doing something, comes over the top, literally from me to you, says surrender. I said no, put my barrel up, shot him right in the face, and missed.
Oh, you missed?
No, he missed me.
Oh, okay.
Which, again, I shot him and then he shot back, which I wasn't even mad about because I thought it was funny. But,
well, it split second reaction times. You can't.
And I did say no and then turn and shot to give him at least some benefit, but he was a little bit pissed about that. But I think he was more pissed that he missed me from a foot away. And I hit him in the mask, so it didn't hurt him at all because I was like.
Was it here in the mask, or was it in the eyes?
Somewhere kind of in the mid-region.
Because getting shot in this part of the mask in paintball was a dick move.
What?
Because you're eating paint at that point.
Yeah. So, and I was like, hey man, I'm sorry, you okay? I was like, I don't really surrender very much, unless they're behind me. I think I've surrendered once or twice and somebody came up behind me.
I've had people come up behind me and say surrender, and I've surrendered. But yeah, if they were in front of me and I knew where they were, I would shoot back. But honestly, there were a lot of times someone yelled, I heard it from in front of me, I don't know where they are. I can't see them. I didn't know they were there. And I've done that to people, too. I once put my gun through a bush at somebody and said, surrender. Because I've, like, at this point, I'm, like, this far away from their head with my barrel, and they're like, yeah, hit, and walked off field.
Yeah.